The next important theorem in this chapter is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Normally for board examination, there is no question to prove fundamental theorem of arithmetic. But there is one more question or two more question. State fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So, the statement is important. You must learn that one. The fundamental theorem of arithmetic states that every composite number can be expressed or factorized as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. We can simply take one composite number 4. 4 is a composite number. 4 we can write 2 times 2. 2 means a prime number. So, a composite number we can write product of prime number. Then another one, 6 is a composite number. 6 we can write 2 times 3. Here 2 and 3 both are prime numbers. Here it is mentioned apart from the order. Okay, that means order is not a problem. 2 times 3 or 3 times 2 both are 6, but 2 and 3 are prime numbers. So the prime factorization of a natural number is unique except for the order of its factors. 10 is a composite number. 10 we can write product of 2 and 5. That means either 2 times 5 or 5 times 2. Multiplication is commutative. So order is not at all a big problem. Anyway, that 10 is a composite number that we can express as a product of 2 and 5. 2 and 5 are prime numbers. Next exam. Consider the numbers 4 to the power n, where n is a natural number. Check whether there is any value of n for which 4 raised to n ends with the digit 0. This is actually 4 raised to n. What is 4 raised to 0? That is 1. 4 raised to 1, 4. 4 square, 16. 4 cube, 64. We need to check if there is any number 4 raised to any number end with the digit 0. 10, 20, 30, 40. A number end with the digit 0 means that is a multiple of 10. Okay. Now we can solve this one or we can find the solution of this question. If the number 4 raised to n for any n were to end with the digit 0, then it would be divisible by 5. I will explain more this one. A number end with the digit 0, that means that is a multiple of 10. Only 10, that is multiple of 10 is end with the digit 0. Then the factors of 10 are 2 and 5. That is, the prime factorization of 4 raised to n would contain the prime 5. This is not possible because we know factors of 4 means only one prime factor, only 2. 2 raised to n we can write 2 to the power 2n. So, the only prime in the factorization of 4 raised to n is 2. There is no 5. So, the uniqueness of the fundamental theorem of arithmetic guarantees that there are no other primes in the factorization of 4 raised to n. That means we know 4 is a composite number. At 4 we can write product of prime number, that is 2 times 2 only. But 4 raised to n, that for any value of n, that answer end with a digit 0 means it should be a multiple of 10. But there is no prime factor 5 in 4. Therefore, there is no natural number n for which 4 raised to n ends with the digit 0. Let us practice few questions. Remember, HCF of AB into LCM of AB equal product of AB. That is, product of HCF and LCM of AB equal product of AB. Then HCF equal product of the smallest power of each common prime factor in the numbers. We know HCF is highest common factor. After prime factorization, HCF we can find by using this method, product of the smallest power of each common prime factor in the numbers, or common prime factors with the least power. Similarly, LCM equal product of the greatest power of each prime factor involved in the numbers. All terms with the highest power, that means all the prime factors with the highest power. We can do few examples, then HCF and LCM, it will be more clear to you. The first example, find the HCF of 96 and 404 by the prime factorization method. Hence, find their LCM. We know factorization of 96 and 404. 96 we can write 2 raised to 5 into 3, and 404 we can write 2 square into 101. Here the common prime factor is 2, and in 96 the power of 2 is 5, and in the second number power of 2 is 2. For HCF, we are considering least power of the common prime factor. The common prime factor is 2 and the least power also 2. So, here we can take HCF as 2 square equal 4. Also, we can find LCM of 96 and 404. We know HCF into LCM equal product of that two number. So, we need to find LCM of these two numbers. Here we can use this method. So LCM of 96 and 404 we can write product of these two numbers divided by HCF of these two numbers. So 96 into 404 divided by 4. Answer is 9696. Second example. Find the HCF and LCM of 6, 72 and 120 using the prime factorization method. We know 6 we can write 2 times 3. 72 we can write 2 cube into 3 square. And 120 we can write 2 cube into 3 into 5. For finding HCF, first we need to find the common factors, common prime number. Here 2 and 3, these two are the common prime numbers. For finding HCF, we need least power of the common prime number. Here the least power of 2 is 1. Similarly, least power of 3 also 1. So, we can write 2 raised to 1 into 3 raised to 1. That is same as 2 times 3. Answer 6. Once again I will tell you. After factorization, you can select the common prime factors with least power. Here power of 2 1. Here 3. Here also 3. So the least power is 1. So here we can take 2 raised to 1. Here 3. 3 square 3. The least power is 1. So here we select 2 raised to 1 and 3 raised to 1. Finally, HCF of these numbers equal 6. Then here we need to find LCM also. For LCM, we need to consider all the prime factors. Here 2, 3 and 5. these three are the prime factors, and we need to take highest power also. The highest power of 2 is 3, highest power of 3 is 2, and the highest power of 5 is 1. So we can take 2 cube, 3 square and 5. Okay. So 2 cube, 3 square and 5 raised to 1 are the greatest power of the prime factors 2, 3 and 5 respectively involved in the three numbers. Now we need to consider LCM of these three numbers. For LCM, we need to consider all the prime factors. Here prime factors are 2, 3 and 5. And we need to consider the highest power also. Highest power of 2 is 3. Highest power of 3, that is 2. And the highest power of 5, that is 1. So 2 cube, 3 square and 5 raised to 1 are the greatest powers of the prime factors 2, 3 and 5 respectively involved in the three numbers. Therefore, LCM of these three numbers equal 2 cube into 3 square into 5, that is equal 360. Remember, 6 times 72 into 120, that means product of these three numbers is not equal HCF, product of HCF of these three numbers and LCM of these three numbers. So the product of three numbers is not equal to the product of their HCF and LCM. In example 3, we need to find HCF and LCM of 26 and 91 using the prime factorization method. After prime factorization, we can write 26 equal 2 times 13 and 91 equal 13 times 7. So here the common prime factor is 13. There is no other common factor. So HCF of these two numbers equal 13. When we consider for LCM, we need to consider all the prime number 2, 13 and 7. So LCM of these two numbers equal 2 times 13 times 7. Answer is 182. Here are two homework questions for you. First one, find the HCF of 96 and 404 by Euclid's division lemma. First you can find HCF of these two numbers. Hence you can find LCM. After finding HCF, you know HCF these two numbers. Then product of these two numbers, that is equal LCM and HCF. By that concept you can find the value of LCM. Second question, given that HCF of 306 and 657 is 9, find LCM of these two numbers. That we know product of these two numbers equal product of HCF and LCM. Here are two homework questions for you. First one, find the HCF of 96 and 404 by Euclid's division lemma. First you can find HCF of these two numbers. Hence you can find LCM. After finding HCF, you know HCF these two numbers. Then product of these two numbers, that is equal LCM and HCF. By that concept you can find the value of LCM. Second question, given that HCF of 306 and 657 is 9, find LCM of these two numbers. That we know product of these two numbers equal product of HCF and LCM. Consider the fraction 1 by 4. When we divide 1 by 4 as normal division method, we will get the answer is 0.25. Similarly, the fraction 1 by 2 equal 0.5, 3 by 5 equal 0.6, 1 by 8 equal 0.125 and 3 by 8 equal 0.375. All these numbers are called terminating decimals. They stop by 1 or 2 or 3 or more decimal points. The first one, 1 by 4, only 2 decimal place. Here, the second and third one, only 1 decimal place. Third and fourth and fifth, here 3 decimal places. So, all these numbers are called terminating decimals. Now, consider the fractions 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 4 by 9 and 2 by 7. 1 by 3 we can write 0.333 etc. 2 by 3 0.666. 4 by 9 0.444. It is repeating. And 2 by 7 0.285714. Again the same number 285714, 285714 etc. All these numbers are called recurring decimals or repeating decimals. They repeat by 1 or 2 or 3 or more digits together. Both terminating decimals and recurring or repeating decimals are together called rational numbers. Once again, both terminating decimals and recurring decimals are together called rational numbers. So, any number that can be expressed in the form p by q, where q not equal to 0, are called rational numbers. Once again, any number that can be expressed in the form p by q, where q not equal to 0, are called rational numbers. Again, consider pi. We know its approximate value is 22 by 7. When we divide 22 by 7, we will get pi equal 3.14159 etc. etc. It is not repeating. It is not repeating, but it is not terminating. The decimals do not stop and they do not repeat. Another non-terminating, non-repeating decimal number is e. That is equal 2.718, 2818, 2845 etc. This is also not terminating and not repeating. Similarly, root 3 and root 2 also same like that way. Not non-terminating and non-repeating. Such numbers are called irrational numbers. We have some easy ways to identify a terminating decimal. The very beginning we already saw that 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 5, 1 by 8 and 3 by 8. These fractions, when we are writing corresponding decimals, these decimals are terminating decimals. Here 1 by 4, consider 1 by 4. The denominator is 4. 4 we can write 2 times 2. Here 1 by 2. 2 simply the fact is 2 only. And 3. 3 by 5. Here the denominator is 5. And the fourth case denominator is 8. 8 we can write 2 times 2 times 2. We can consider few more numbers. 3 by 10, that is equal 0.3 equal 3 by 10 we can write 5 times 2. It is terminating. The second fraction 2 by 20. 20 we can write 2 times 2 times 5. 2 divided by 15. That is equal 0.13333. But this is repeating. And 5 by 6. That is equal 0.8333. 3 is repeating. In general, in all terminating decimals, the denominator will be either 2 or 5 or a multiple of 2 and 5. Only 2 and 5. Denominator contains only 2, 5 or their multiples. If any other number is there, then the fraction will not be terminating. We can check that one, okay? Here the first fraction 3 by 4. We need to check 3 by 4 is a terminating decimal or not. 4 we can write 2 times 2. So denominator is a multiple of 2, or the factors of denominator are only 2. So it is terminating. The second case 13 by 40. 40 we can write 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 or 2 cube into 5. Here the factors are only, prime factors are 2 and 5 only. So this is also terminating. But the third number 7 by 30, that is equal 7 by 2 times 3 times 5. Here in this denominator, factors of denominator other than 2 and 5, 3 is there. So this number, this fraction is not terminating. Here are few homework questions for you. Check whether the following numbers are terminating. The first one 11 by 16, second one 23 by 50, and the third one 11 by 17. For that we need to find prime factors of the denominator. If the denominator is a multiple of 2, 5 or multiple of 2 and 5, only product of 2 and 5, then only the given fraction is terminating.